Much of Auntie Sue's written history chronicles the War of Giants, or before that, the reign of Emperor Pachacamac, and rightly so. The continent had never before been united as it was under the banner, and in the wake of war we found ourselves struggling to determine in what ways we were parts, and in what ways we were whole. The technological advancements fostered during the Emperor's reign, combined with the sudden outpouring of unfettered trade and dissemination when he fell, produced several of the most experimental and chaotic decades of our time. A period of discovery and transformation. Not the least of these discoveries, of course, was myconid extract. Our great pride, or great shame, depending on who you ask. These fungal creatures were no longer just a funny little thing you find in the caves and the mountains. They were the key to unlocking, well, everything. It seems there's nothing that cannot be enhanced in some way through the use of the extract, soil, crops, potions, our very essence, which probably explains why they're fast becoming extinct. And why there are those that would turn to dark deeds to keep the flow of extract ever strong. But this history, while important, is not the one I wish to research. I don't consider myself a particularly devout man. I pray on occasion to the Nikelkian gods like a good little boy, but I am not guided by faith, nor am I blinded by it. This is a luxury in this world that I think we sometimes fail to appreciate. The gods are real, there's no question. The gods are powerful, there's no question. The gods can affect our world in many ways. We see it every day. But there is a limit, and there is a symbiosis. Like a great shield in the sky, there is something that protects us from the gods just doing whatever they want. And what they want, most of all, most of anything, is exclusivity of magic. No more wizards, no more sorcerers, no more warlocks, no more druids. What if the only magic could be handed down from the divine? Imagine the swell of fealty and faith, the unending praise, prayer, and sacrifice in their name. Some mortals, fools that they are, would see this as a better place. But those that wield it understand that freedom of magic is the great equalizer. For a wizard who spent their entire life learning to go up against a cleric of the gods and to emerge the victor is not just inspirational stories or fodder for one's pride. It keeps the gods humble. Forces them to continue to provide for us, not just make demands. A careful give and take. And this has largely been accepted by both sides, mortal and divine, for many, many years. There are a few gods, however, that see balance as an ugly word, an insult, an affront. They train their searing divine eye on that shield and they try to burn a hole through it. And through those holes, the divine strands cling to this world. Their influence grows and they meddle in our affairs, slowly poisoning the well of magic available to us all. And so we must rely on one of history's best-kept secrets. The Reapers. Chosen by the dead in a way that we to this day do not understand. The Reapers are the only ones capable of cutting these god strands and keeping the tidal wave of divine influence away from our shores. But someone, or something, has found a way to identify these Reapers before they are ready to fulfill their duties. Kill them before they come into their power. And so the god strands grow ever thicker. And I worry they will reach a point where the foothold becomes a permanent one, and the magic of this world will be forever changed. I hope, then, that it is not too late for this new Reaper they found. A Tiefling girl. Younger than would normally embrace the responsibilities of such a position, but I suppose that is the point. My dear friend, the wizard Salandriel, managed to find her before she could be slain by whoever is hunting the Reapers. And now her training has begun. Salandriel's brother, Cliff Ironcloud, is a powerful man in the north, and he has tasked a group of 3 with escorting the young Reaper to the Rapra Mountains, where she will attempt her first kill of significance. A small but important step toward ultimately severing the god strands. That the girl has made it this far is an achievement in and of itself. And yet I worry immensely. I know she is not to be coddled, but those charged with her protection. 2 names I had never heard before, and one I had heard of for all the wrong reasons. Erland Loftefell attended the prestigious halls of transmutation. Expelled. Sent to the Atonement's End Monastery in Shashi. Strong marks and physical fitness, but it is weakness of character, not weakness of body, that worries me. Some kind of problem with myconid extract. Record sealed, but not to me. He would not be the first ex-myconid addict to take a little tumble down the hole. And word has reached my ears from the Ackley Grove, where another former disciple of Atonement's End was hired by the group as a guide. He was alive when they entered the forest, and dead when they left. The monks tossed this boy into the darkness, and now the darkness follows him. Safira Shiohan. Difficult to find a surname, which I suppose is characteristic of a deserter who does not wish to be found. An otherwise sparkling military record in the Special Forces of Ki'ira, once destined for a leadership position, now an ocean away from the men and women of her unit that she abandoned. She is a crusader, but we have already seen what happens when her personal crusade does not match up with those around her. Graven Ilvigo. He of the fractured Ilvigo clan from the Wixa Mountains, and Cleric to the god of light, Kuusni. Sending a cleric of one of the meddling gods to protect a reaper feels very much like sending a fox to protect a hen. They say he is broken. They say that for the first time in history there is a second cleric of Kuusni, brought into existence because of Graven's blasphemy and fractured faith. I have seen this before in the histories. Chosen mortals who had disdain for their position, the responsibilities heaped upon them. Do you know what they all had in common? In the end, they all came crawling back to their gods. How long would it take, after losing this power, to yearn for the taste of righteous fury? And what if that moment of rediscovering conviction comes at the wrong time? As for the girl herself, Orba is the name. A promising wizard in her own right. But what does she know of this world? A runaway, and before that a servant, and before that a pauper. So much placed on her shoulders, but I don't think she has fully comprehended what this all means. So wanting to be a part of something. So desperate to keep close those that she thinks are her friends. This is who we send north, to the Rapra Mountains where the cold light walker awaits. An undead horror not to be taken lightly, but a necessary kill for the burgeoning reaper. If I sit here in my library, I'll make myself crazy with doubt, wondering if we made a huge mistake. So I will gather my things, and I will travel to Tunkuri-Kualu. There is a part of the mountain range there that they call the Vale, and if ever my assistance is required, it will be at this place. And you must go now as well. It's time to follow the real story. The seasons are changing, but our burdens remain.